What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our weekly prediction video for next week's episode of Walking Dead television series. This one's going to be for The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 13 now we're going to be predicting, and that is called Bury Me Here. Now, this one is going to be, and this is spoiler warning if you have not seen episode 12 and if you don't want to know anything about this episode. So this one looks like it's going to be a kingdom-centric, at least mostly, episode. We might see some saviors, you know, a little bit. We can tell there's some saviors, but yeah, it definitely looks like the majority of this episode we're going to see the kingdom and we're going to see all of them and all that kind of stuff. So we have heard, I heard about this a couple weeks ago that we were going to get a Kingdom episode, either episode 13 or 14. It was listed as episode 14, but I'm not really, I don't know. Anyway, so basically what happens here is that it looks like Carol is actually, she's so smart that she's actually kind of telling herself that, you know, I think something is wrong. Clearly something's wrong. Daryl seems way too upset for nothing to have happened, and it looks like she's gonna get an answer out of someone, and that someone, to be honest with you, looks like it's gonna probably be Morgan. Morgan's probably gonna unfortunately break it to her that both Glenn and Abraham got beaten to death by a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, which I have right there. Not a real bat, but anyway. I'm making a different one, too, a different replica. I found a different bat, and this one's going to look even cooler. So I'm going to have two Lucille's, so that's cool. And probably one I'll probably put, probably on a shelf, because what I'm doing at the new place, I'm going to get two shelves, and I'm probably going to have Lucille over top. So that's going to be cool if I can do that, if I can finish that Lucille in time, hopefully. But anyway, because it takes a lot of time to make a Lucille. It really does. It's, of course, and if it's not the right paint color, you have to paint it and everything. It took a while. It even took a while to make that one. So, pretty cool, though. Anyway. This one, it looks really cool. I personally, when I heard about this episode, I was like, oh man, is this going to be another one of the Well episodes where, man, it's just a boring, dry Kingdom episode with nothing really progresses the story, a couple things, but not very much. I don't think we're getting that in this one. This one looks like we're going to get probably a couple deaths from the Kingdom side, and it looks pretty major, to be honest with you. We could even see Ben get killed off this week, which I don't really care about him. But it looks like the purpose of this episode is going to be about Carol finding out and Carol getting her strength back and wanting to kill Negan. So everybody, it's building up to the finale where everybody wants to kill Negan. It's just awesome. Remember Gabriel? I agree, Of course, I don't even. Everybody wants to kill Negan. I think somebody's gonna pay the price. Even aside from Spencer, Olivia, Glenn, and Abraham, I think Negan's gonna kill a fifth person out of these communities. Maybe even a sixth. 6 people. It's possible because Negan is he's that powerful. Now, I guess another discussion topic we could do is, does Negan own them now? Is our group capable enough now to fight? Or do they need even more guns? I would say they need even more. I would definitely say they need more. But, of course, we don't really know what's going to happen when it comes to this episode. We only have the Next On promo and everything like that and the sneak peek. But it looks like Morgan's going to break the news to Carol. And, at first he's probably going to say everybody's all right. Yeah, why wouldn't they be? But then she's going to make him say it. She's going to make him, say it to her. And then I feel like she's just going to go on a rampage. So, Carol, don't do anything stupid yet. We're getting ready for war. Don't go right now when you're going to get killed. So, yeah, because I think even somebody like Carol could get killed because there are so many saviors that it's possible. So, some people think, I've heard already some predictions in this episode that she's going to go after the saviors and she's going to have the Holly death. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be another character that we're going to talk about this week. I've already talked about it. I think it is Sasha, to be honest. I think it is. It's just kind of too predictable. But we'll have to see. Anyway, this episode looks really cool. It looks like we're going to most likely see the kingdom, and it looks like this one we're going to see how Ezekiel gets convinced to join. I think that's one of the biggest purposes here, is in this episode, we're going to see Ezekiel finally say yes to fight the Saviors. But what is it going to take for him to say yes? Say yes, right? Anyway, so it looks like we're probably going to see at least one death, probably by the Saviors killing somebody from the kingdom. I could picture it being Ben. I'm just going to make a prediction. I'm picturing it being Ben because he's picking fights for no reason, and Ezekiel's really trying to protect him, and that would just break him, I feel like, if he got killed. So I'm going to go for Ben in this one. I think he's the most likely. Write your comments below on who do you think. If there's somebody that gets killed for Ezekiel to say yes to fighting the Saviors, who do you think it's going to be? Richard is also another possibility. I think a lot of people could probably say, even though I think he's being a little bit of a jerk lately there. I don't think he should set Carol for bait. But anyway, so this looks really cool. It looks like we're getting back on track with the kingdom, and also, is Morgan just staying there? Like, is he never coming back to Alexandria? Because it looks like he's staying there for good. Now, do I think the kingdom is better for him long term? I do think so, because, Alexandria, it looks like he's really not getting along with Rick, and he's not really getting along with the others. So, the kingdom might just be the right place for him. He gets along with Ezekiel pretty good. Him and Ezekiel are pretty good friends at this point. Even when Rick asks him to fight, he goes right to Morgan. He says, Morgan, speak your opinion, and I think another thing is, will Carol go on a rampage this episode? I hope she doesn't. I hope she kind of just waits for the right moment when they're all ready for the all-out war, which will be in like 4 episodes, not even probably, by the time they're all ready. Because we only have 4 episodes left, so we've seen, because we usually have 8 episodes every half, we've seen the first 4 this half, so we are officially halfway through this half season, and I am really not happy about it because we only got 4 episodes left, but this episode looks really good. I'm really excited to see what they do with it, and where do they go with this one? Like, what are they going to do with it? It's pretty interesting, to be honest with you, and I'm not really sure what they're going to do with this episode, and who's going to be killed off, if that's what it takes to convince Ezekiel to fight. I think the logic idea would be Ben, and also because we don't really care much for Ben. We've only seen him a couple times, so I think it'd be impactful for Ezekiel. Maybe not so much for us as the viewers, but for Ezekiel, yeah. So I'm gonna say I think this is actually not gonna be like just a decent episode. It looks pretty good, and we also see that, of course, some of the saviors, those same guys, are not happy with Ezekiel, and it looks like they're going to start fighting already. And it looks like the saviors are not happy. Maybe the kingdom character did something that the saviors are not a big fan of, so we'll have to see about that. And anyway, let me know what you guys think about this episode, guys. What do you guys expect for this one? And also, of course, the week after this one, listed as we're, at least based on what I see here off the internet spoilers. If you guys don't want to know anything about episode 14, click off right now, so I'm giving you the chance. So I'll see all the people that don't want to know about episode 14 later. You've been warned. Episode 14 is going to be about the hilltop, seeing Maggie again, which we've barely seen her again, and seeing the saviors go to the hilltop, and it says that they take more than just supplies. So, cool. So that means we'll probably only see Rick's group, unfortunately, in like 3 weeks. In episode 15, they'll build up the finale. And so that means Oceanside in episode 15. So in just a couple more weeks, we'll see Oceanside. So I hate how they're dividing this up, though, because now we won't see Rick's group for a couple more weeks. And that really disappoints me. But this one looks better than I thought. This one looks probably pretty good for what it is. Probably not the best from this half, it doesn't look like, but it looks like it's going to be really good and a good builder to All Out War. I think this episode will be an episode that will a big Ezekiel fans will never forget. I think this one is going to be really awesome to see how he is going to get convinced to fight against the Sabres. Anyway, I'll see you guys really soon. Peace, guys.